Hello everyone, back to Amiga Monday again, and I'm mostly set up today after a rig brawl yesterday, but to be fair, yesterday I completely forgot about the whole how long it took to set up the ZX Spectrum, so that's it. But we still got the game running, which is good. Just a shame that I couldn't actually get the tape playing properly. But yeah, so the other thing I wanted to say was before I continued. So a couple of streams ago, I mentioned about there was an issue with the I showed off the Twitch backend and there was that big black bar. Well, this web developer completely forgot about caching, and I think it's just I'm so used to bigger sites like Twitch not needing you to clean your cache all the time. I think that's what threw me a bit. So once I cleared the cache, it was fine. I don't get a silly black bar anymore, which, yeah. Either way. Anyway, that's over and done with. So, Amiga format CD16. Let's see where we were. Oh, I need to set up the assigns just in case. I think we'd finished the MISC file. Let me just check. Because this is where, we looked at Nirvana last week and I used my CD collection as not proof, but kind of so you can see that one. The Voyager one was all the, basically the first 2 seasons of Voyager. Star Fury was about the Babylon 5 fighter. I can't remember what this is, but yeah, we've done MISC now. So we got program patches, ArcDer, Opus 5 guide. ArcDer Opus 5 is an AREX script for Directory Opus 5 that allows you to show the contents of an LHA or LZX archive in an Opus lister and operate on the files and directories inside the archive as if it was a normal directory. That's actually quite useful. You can browse through the directory structure, double click on files in an archive to view them, delete files and directories with the delete button, extract or add files and directories with the copy button or through drag and drop. I'll have to see if there's one for Directory Opus 4 because that would be interesting. Patch set func. Redirect set function to patch library version 2. This one was written as a support program for my patch library. It patches the exact library set function to use patch library instead of the normal DS function. OS function, sorry. Requires at least Kickstart version 2. So if you understand that, that's what this does. Virus is usually just a virus checker, but there's no point in looking at that anyway. CD-ROM, we've got one this month, Ant CDF. Search program from Aminet CD, search for a program for Aminet CD, not the sets, with the AND operator. This program searches for files on CDs. You can also link several patterns. Download the readme doc for more details. Must enter the number of the CD as a search pattern. CD with the number must be inserted. Will it work on the one that I've got? If I can find it quickly. think it says it doesn't use the sets. And I've got set 1. I could try it. I don't think it's going to work though. Right, okay, let's have a go. Set 1. Probably it's not going to work. Oh, in case you've never seen this before, this is the Amiga set, so you can get repositories from Amiga from a certain date, and this was 95. Try set 1. I don't know if it'll pick up. Should do. What have we got on here? Dev. Yeah, I don't think it will do. Because it did say not the sets, but I tried it anyway. Alright, fair enough. Graphics card, we've got 3. Cyber Anim. The if anim format animation player version 1.2. This program plays if anim 3578 format bitmapped animation files on any Amiga Plus graphics card with OS3 or higher and CyberGrafx. In general, it can play any IFF anim 3578 format animation in a different screen mode than it's intended. It's most useful for playing AGA 256 color animations on an ACS Amiga with a graphics card. Okay. I didn't know you could do that with the ACS. The files in this archive may be distributed anywhere provided they are unmodified and not sold. Okay. Let me just read that again. Most useful for playing AGA 256 on an ACS Amiga with a graphics card. So, ACS would be the Amiga 600. Unless it goes in a trapdoor, perhaps. But I didn't know you could do that. I'll have to look at that later. Okay, Mode Pro. Screen Mode Promotion and Public Screen Utility. Screen Mode Promoter and Public Screen Manager. So I'm assuming these are kind of if you're advertising something you want to display it on a different screen. Is that what it is? It's not opening. Mode Pro is an application or screen specific screen promoter for Workbench 2.1 or 204 and ASL 38 and above. Mode Pro is also a simple public screen manager. You can define public screens to automatically open and close as needed. Mode Pro determines which screens to promote via 3 lists: screen names, which lists screens by a name that should be promoted; program names list programs whose screens should be promoted; and screen modes list screen modes that should be promoted. Each list can contain any number of promotion entry names. When a program attempts to open a screen, Mode Pro will search a list in the order above. If it finds an entry that matches the screen, Mode Pro will promote the screen using the options the entry specifies. Mode Pro allows you to use any Amiga DOS wildcard for the entry names. So there's a monitor type there. Not entirely sure what it means by screens. Because does it mean screen as in the window? Or does that actually mean the monitor? Because I'm sure I've seen a program similar to this that talked about screens, and it looked like it was just talking about sort of different windows, that sort of idea. But I don't know. Okay, moving on. OPEC move. OPEC window commodity with CGFX. OPEC move is a commodity which provides OPEC window movement and resizing for native intuition screens. It is primarily intended for users of 8-bit screens on an accelerated graphics card, although it should work slowly on a standard AGA or ECS screens as well. OPEC move requires an 030 CPU or better and Amiga DOS 3.0. For optimal OPEC resizing, a graphics card with a fast 040 or 060 is recommended. All the versions. Again, I'm not entirely sure on this one. Probably not going to work, so I don't have a graphics card anyway. And that's fine. Hardware. Oh, okay. It did pop in. Unless the screen is similar to the whole Linux changing the different TTY screens, that could be a thing. Because I know with this you can multitask between the game and going back to Workbench again. So I'm assuming that will be different screens. But yeah, that's your preferences. Back to hardware, IDE fix. We spoke about this before. In fact, this is recognizable because I remember seeing this with that buffered IDE thing that I had. So IDE fix 97. So this should find the CD. Hello there, Core Classman. So that's my ATAPI device, that's the DVD-ROM. That SanDisk is the hard drive. And it's seen the compact flash. There's a DVD. So I think it's picked something up in the PCMCIA. different types of a tappy. A tappy, yeah. And that's it. So that's what that does. Basically shows you where everything is. I can eject the CD and stuff, but I've already got an ejector here. So that's all the tools in there. TW Opus. We use Twin Express with Directory Opus. With this little utility and Twin Express and Twin Opus 2, you can connect Amiga to PC, Amiga to Amiga, PC to PC. That's usually a swear word. So I don't know what that actually means in this context. By serial port. Let you access all drives on remote machine, disk drive, CD-ROM, etc. That's kind of interesting. I've done PC to PC before, but I did it through DOS. So I think I've spoken about this before, but there's something called it's not interdev, into something else. And basically it was a DOS program that allowed you to do serial from one machine to another. I think it would detect the hard drives, and then it would, on both of the machines by the way, and you do the host one, it would have as C and D, for example, if you've got 2 hard drives, and then if you had 2 on the next one, it would be put it on E and F. So all you had to do was basically go copy from C to E, for example, and that would copy from the first one to the second one, which was quite cool actually. So I'm guessing this is similar. Let me just try and find out which one it was. What was the DOS program? Into something or other. DOS 6.22 specifically it was. Serial. Program, was it? Interlink, that was the one. It's a primary serial transfer program included with DOS 6.22, so you get interlink and the server. So I think you put the server in first, and then it kind of detects stuff, and then you run interlink on top of that, I believe. That's how that works, I think. Or yeah, something like that. This one, new 8 and 1 replaces a serial device. It's a replacement driver for the standard serial, originally based on a V34 serial device. It's been redesigned and enhanced, includes a source. Doesn't really say much about it. The modem. World's largest modem guide, searchable. Within it strengths for more than 2,500 modem types, some complete handbooks and more modem related informations. If your modem type is not included with this guide, please send me an email or write me a postcard. There's definitely a lot of love for postcardware. I suppose it's a good way to find out where your customers come from. So if you get like a postcard from Canada, you know it's reached all the way over there. It's kind of an interesting way of doing it. The Modem Dictionary version 2. Right, what's the modem types? I think it's just different types of modem. Probably specifically for the Amiga. And this is a long article. Talks about BBS. I'm not going to read all this because this is going to take ages. This could have been done as a separate Amiga guide, to be honest. So it tells you all about different terminology. This I've seen before, UART. It's usually in the settings. And I think this one here is usually the lowest baud rate you can get. And then these two are the highest at the time, before it jumped to the 56k modem speeds. And then after that, I don't think there was any other modem after that. It was more, most people went to ASDL, ISDN, that sort of continuous line feed. Yeah, so it goes through a lot of stuff. AOL, there you go. Don't know if anybody used that for the Amiga. That'd be interesting to find out if that somebody did. But yeah, that's useful to go through at some point, but not today. Scantech. Scanner stuff? Yes. I think we've seen this before. Eric support. Sorry for the yawn. So yeah, I think it's just basically a scanner program. Can't find it in SCSI, that's fine. So we can do colour, red, green, blue, grey, black, white, halftone, and different exposure times. Presets, that'll be pixels, yeah, DPI, that one. Cool. Can preview it and scan it. So preview, I think goes, I think it does a quick scan, and then this proper scan really takes its time to pull everything. So yeah, there you go. Sound. AHI tool. The tool requires AHI4 archive. The tool cannot be used using the Polar driver for the internal sound chip. Do not save valuable or important songs with the HI tool and the track. The size of the tool structured data that is saved with a song may change. This will result in with problems with older, newer tools. Okay. Different sliders. Powerful being pipe sample player using HI. Requires an AHI supported sound card, which tells me this is not going to run. Okay. Algo music. Oh, is this the is this what would be considered to be AI music now? Let's have a look. Ah, damn it. Ever been tired of looking into your sound module directory and yawning your head off because you've heard all the boring mods thousands of times? Well, here's the ultimate solution. Algo Music is a quite complex program that creates and plays a song randomly out of a series of algorithms in a techno house manner. Yeah, we've seen this before. Just I think we got it working last time. But again, before AI came along, it was still possible. Chaos GUI. It all began when an IRC friend upped me on Mega 2.2. Sorry, Mega. Upped me MPEG-A 2.2. MPEG-A is developed by Stephanie Tavenard and is a extremely fast MP player, MP1 to MP3. When I got it, I liked it, of course, but there was something missing, a GUI, so I took it in my own hands, made a GUI for this wonderful utility, and here it is. So yeah, it's just a front end for that program then. DigiBrewster. Just trying to think what it's about really. Another AHI device. Does the regular mods. I'm guessing this is AHI specific. Let's see if it runs. Probably won't do. Yeah. I'm not loading a random font in just for that. GM Play. MIDI file player for Commodore Amiga computer plays general MIDI, Roland GS and Yamaha HG files. No additional hardware synthesizer needed. GM Play is a program to load and play MIDI files with nothing but a plain Amiga. Unlike most of the MIDI players for the Amiga, you do not require any additional hardware, MIDI interfaces, keyboards, MIDI sound cards, etc. This is why you can call this program a software synthesizer. The music is computed and simultaneously played with a Paul chip in 14-bit quality. In future versions, you will have the possibilities to route the audio outputs into sound files or to Amiga sound cards, e.g. the Toccata, Maestro, Melody, etc. The program now also recognizes Yamaha XG MIDI files, as I happen to own an Yamaha DB50XG sound card that I connected to Amiga's serial port. I wanted to be able to play all my Yamaha XG files. These files offer some extras like different instrument and drum kits and the ability to have more than one drum part. The computation of music with a virtually long limited number of voices is a difficult and CPU intensive job, and this requires some horsepower in your Amiga, which leads us to the system requirements. The program requires a OS2 and a 020 processor or better. Fast RAM is recommended for faster operation. A hard drive will be a great use for storing the samples for your MIDI files. The 03 or 50 MHz should be able to play most MIDI files at 28.603 kHz, the default rate. Owning a 040 or better, you can try and use the 44.1 kHz, but this only makes sense if you have a sample database at a really good quality. The program requires the Math Trans library and the Math FFP library. These are part of the Amiga ROM and part of the Amiga ROM and Workbench disks. The program makes use of an installed XPK data compression package. When compressed MIDI or sample files are encountered, an XPK installation is not required, however, if only uncompressed data is provided. Will it run? assuming it's a... yeah. That looks like it's not going to run. Fair enough. At least we know what it is. MP3 encoder. Dodgy Docs written by Michael Cheng. Okay. This is the first Amiga release of ISO's MPEG public C source code for the MPEG audio layer 3 encoding. The source is freely available from ISO MPEG, but I do not make any testimony as to its usefulness, completeness, or quickness. The Amiga release is very alpha-ish. Make sure you read the problems. Layer 1 and Layer 2 encoding work fine. Doesn't yet do Layer 3. Weird memory problems with encoding stereo samples to MP3. This problem doesn't arise when encoding mono samples to MP3. The problem can cause invalidated partitions and a spectacularly big crash of your Amiga. So until you're confident, work on a scratch partition or encode to RAM. There we go. Stephanie Tavernard told me that there's a bug in part of the encoder. I say there we go because we've already seen her name. Doesn't yet include in common joint stereo MP3 format. Seems to only like 44.1 kHz 16-bit PCM. Let me know if you have success with other frequencies. Yeah, I remember this. When the MP3s kind of first came out, this particular, I think, ISO MPEG, and it's talking about the audio layer 3 encoding. And then when we went to the layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, I remember that talk years ago. So that's interesting. But it's good it made it onto the Amiga. MP3 info. Small utility to read, write, tag info as well as retrieve MP3 header info and print it out in a nice format. So I'm assuming this will be the info that if you had an MP3 player with a display, that's probably what it'd read, the tag info, I think. Tested on Linux x86, but should theoretically work on anything. I'm interested in having it compatible on other machines, compilable, on other machines. So maybe problems. This is what I'm kind of really finding cool, is we're seeing a lot of Unix-based or Linux-based stuff just being ported to the Amiga, which is kind of pretty cool in a way. So there you go, that's that. That's the MPEG-A. Talks about MPEG audio. Very efficient audio compression standard. Actually has 3 compression methods, layer 1, 2 and 3. Layer 3 is more efficient than layer 2, which is more efficient than layer 1. But more efficient means more complex. MPEG audio allows to compress a 16-bit PCM sound file from 1.2 to 32 times. Why it's so hard to make a real MPEG audio encoder. MPEG audio decoding requires a lot of arithmetic calculation, so a lot of CPU power is required. Normally MPEG audio decoding is made with the help of a DSP. So there you go, if you didn't know that. That looks like a CLI command, or CLI program, sorry. Player version. MPEG Audio Daily Tracker Player, version 2.35. And can, God, why am I so wrong today? It can decode MPEG 1 and 2 layers 1, 2 and 3. You need at least an 020 and a 40 MHz plus fast RAM accelerator board is strongly recommended. Interesting. MSC demo. MIDI System Explorer. Many so-called universal patch editors have come and gone for the Amiga. One of our biggest complaints, and the reason why we're making MSC, is that these editors are not anywhere near universal. The approach others have taken is in requiring modules to be purchased for each MIDI device to be controlled. This is fine as long as you can get a module for every device you have, but we all know that especially on Amiga this has not ever happened. And of course, when a company goes out of business or discontinues the program, no further modules are ever made. So along come a few other public domain and shareware authors to try and fill in the hole. These programmers either choose to code individual editors or make another attempt at a universal editor of their own. These universal editors require you to be able to program in C or assembler in order to make your own editors. If you wanted to do that, then why would you bother with a patch editor at all? Well, MIDI System Explorer has arrived. We do not claim that MSC is a universal patch editor. We are not sure such a thing is even possible, but MSC does try to solve a lot of these problems. Development of other programs has stopped because nobody was buying it, and no other editor exists for my new one-of-a-kind MIDI Zembulator. MSC has been developed for our only studio use first. Even if nobody else wants to use it, we'll continue to develop it. Its development will continue regardless of whether anyone buys it or not. We've been using our Amigas for over 10 years, and we do not see that ever stopping for a long time. Even if we stop developing MSC, you will be very likely to still be able to create new modules because MSC supports most MIDI formats. Are you a musician? Do you not know how to program in C or assembler or any other language? If you did, you would rather be composing than programming modules. Yeah, so it's some sort of editor for MIDI. Fair enough. Musica. Library-based system-friendly PT-NT-ST replayer. PT Replayer Library, now on PT Replayer, is a standard Amiga shared library capable of playing music files with a well-known MK sign inside. Oh, Matthias Carlson. I wrote this library because I was unable to find a good and system-friendly replay routine for ProTracker. I based this loosely on the example sources that accompany ProTracker, but these were pretty badly written and sparsely commented. The CIA routines did never work on a machine. A job worth doing well is worth doing yourself. I though went to work. This is what emerged. A small library. Notice it is about 8K and still contains all needed to play good music. It's got a lot of features too. Okay, there we go. It's a ProTracker that it looks like. Opti CD player. I don't think you can see my CD player perhaps. Yeah, it's either it can't see it or because there's nothing in the CD player, it just basically isn't going to show it, but that's the player itself. Not much to say there. Rip It is this CD ripping and converting to MP3 perhaps? Multi-format ripper. Most rippers are only dedicated to ripping just modules or pictures, but Rip It will rip almost anything. Rip It is used for getting ripping files within code or memory. We've seen something like this before. Games, demos, etc. usually pack their data with which contain pictures and music. When these games and demos are quitted, then the unpacked data is usually still in memory, can be scanned by Rip It. Rip It can scan both files and memory for different formats, including pictures, music, modules, samples, animes, plus many more. Rip It is not just designed for Amiga users. PC users can also use Rip It on the Amiga to scan PC files. Rip It will scan for many PC formats as well as the standard Amiga ones. In the unregistered version of Rip It, you can only save basic pictures and basic modules, and be able to save other formats if found. Oh, it will find other formats, but you need to register for those. So basic pictures are the standard LBN, JPEG, this format, and 2 GIFs, interlaced and non-interlaced. Here's the other pictures. I know some companies use PCX at one point. PC ones anyway. Microsoft Paint pictures. Photoshop 2.5 pictures. Star Trek Packer. That's interesting. Select load from the button and load in a data file to scan. Or if you want to scan memory instead of a file, select the chip button. I'm assuming you'd have to go for something with files rather than just a compressed format. Let's see if it works. I think we tried this before and it broke the Amiga. It didn't break it, it just basically crashed it, sorry. Wonder whether we can actually see. Guess it's not found anything. think I tried going through disc 1 and 2. Ooh. Possibly found a JPEG picture. Save it in here. I think with this being compressed, I'm not really able to see much. I need to find a game. It goes under, because I know there's two of them. You can go under either image or files. Usually the WHD for files are literally the files that are there. I can't remember if I've got rid of them all. I don't think I've got many other files. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Found something. Put this in the same one, boot picture. So we'll put that as test 2. Right, let's go and see what we've found. Let's continue. Yeah, let's go and see what was found. I don't think the JPEG's going to show. I think we've seen that last time. Was it on the boot picture, was it? Alright, okay. My fault. Wrong bloody one. not enough data. Unknown data type. I just need to find. Where's my Optimed? Seek failure. Interesting. So it said it found something, but it doesn't seem to want to read it. And the other one just said, the other one said, what was it? Corruption. I think we had that last time. It could be the fact that maybe it's been compressed as well. So you probably need to find a way to uncompress it. I remember when I was doing reverse engineering on Arena Daggerfall. So you had to unpack the file first because it was packed in, compressed, and then you could start doing the proper disassembling with the hex file. The one that I used was something called Axe, and the interesting thing about Axe was out of all the tabs, one of them was called Picture, and he would try and read I think one of the files I used, and he could make it big or small, and when I scrolled through, most of it was garbled, but occasionally you could see a picture. But when you did this with the width, it would garble this, and then maybe you'd find a different picture somewhere else. So it's kind of interesting, it didn't it? I'd starting it in about 40 seconds, so I'm gonna go into about a 3-minute break from now. So we'll continue on with Sample X and Syned after this, and then I think we've only got these two to do, so I can do those next week. Well, no, I don't know. We can do another 30 minutes. But yeah, anyway, see you in about 3-4 minutes.
The first-person shooter with award-winning 360-degree stomach-wrenching action. Then we plunged you deeper into chaos with deadlier enemies that fed off your power. Now, after years of waiting, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Descent 3's fusion engine lets you move seamlessly from inside to outside. Crush your enemies, set them on fire, and watch them suffer. Match wits with robots that sneak up behind you, hide behind walls, and work in teams. The best multiplayer out of the box, Descent 3 is optimized for modem internet play. Descent 3.
What now? I command you. Okay.
What do you be wanting me for? Let us so stop 'em, to be sure.
This looks interesting. I'm ready.
Yes. All right. Holstead here.
If you want.
With honor. Eagle be my eyes.
Hello, welcome to my store. Here you can buy
Sorry for that. Oh god, excuse me. Right, okay. So, we're at the end of the sound one. Let's have a look at the programming one. There's a few of them in here. Not a massive amount. Clipper 227. Amos. No, it looks like an Amos file, perhaps? I wonder whether it's readable. No, it won't read it. That's fine. If you're upgrading from 224, please read new features first. Clipper is a program designed to make it easier for Amos programmers to create icons and bobs. It allows you to clip them from an ILBM screen and also provides some useful facilities for managing icon bob banks. I know Amos comes with an icon bob editor, but I find it's better to create icon bobs in a paint package, such as dpaint, and clip them out afterwards. Since I continuously alter image banks during game development, I needed a utility to speed up the clipping process, and so Clipper was born. So if you know what that means and you're an Amos person, there you go. You probably got something like that now anyway. Gmod play. I don't think that's a reference to Gary's mod. Examples sourced in Blitz Basic 2 to handle Gmods. First official and well set out. Okay, I'll take that back. Release piece of Blitz example source for everyone to marvel and wonder over. Well, okay, you can just look at it, but call it crap and chuck it away too. But I like it anyway. The source is a sample player for the Gmod standard, including this archive. Not much more to say really. I have remmed all the source pretty extensively, so the only other thing to look at is the local reference. Okay. HRT monitor. If you ever wanted to get action replay on your A1200, A3000 or A4000, if the answer is yes, you should have a look at HRT Mon. It's a monitor for your Amiga which doesn't use the libraries. You can invoke the monitor at any point, even if the game or demo switched off the interrupts. Once in the HRT Mon, you can watch all the memory disassemble, etc., save, etc., have a look at the commands list, and continue as nothing has happened. You don't have to care about any picture address. All chip memory can be edited transparently. Shareware. Excuse me. A level 7 internet button. Needs special hardware to work properly. If you don't have it, you can still use HRT Mon with the right mouse enter or ent key options to the preferences. You'll have to add a level 7 button to your Amiga. If you don't have one already, this button will also work with other softwares as ASM1. So that is the, I think it's like IDE for assembler stuff. This button will generate level 7 non-maskable interrupts on your Amiga. When you press the button, you will immediately enter HRT Mon. Don't be afraid if you're not an electronic specialist. It's very easy if you know soldering. If you can't do it, ask some friends. Material needed. 1 button, some wires, 3 diodes, or any other equivalent to the N4148. And that's the schematics. There you go. So basically like a different software version of Amiga, Action Replay. MCC, so that's going to be some module for MUI. Yep, MUI list. Rupert, come here. Rupee. My cat doesn't like the other cat. He kind of sort of doesn't like to get near him. Rupert, come on. Come here. Rupert, come on. Come on. Where are you? Come on. Ruby. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. If he comes out again, I'll just grab him. PCQ12D. Pascal. Assuming it's a compiler. That's the make utility. Pascal compiler. So the files around it. So basically this is a clay version of the compiler. I don't have any Pascal to... Actually... So remember only Pascal, this is probably gonna basically remember, I vaguely remember some of this stuff like procedure and begin. So this looks like sub programs, I think it is. Right, come here. Come here. Where have you gone? Hey. Rupee. Bugger. Let's see if I can run one. What are you doing? Is it just out or something? Couldn't open examples. Oh. That's because somebody forgot to put in a /. Couldn't open 3D DP. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm being an idiot. It's because I'm putting it in the CD drive. I might need to put this in the actual RAM file, you know, on the system. That's fine. It's a Pascal program anyway. Why Guru? Explains why there's been a Guru. You see, I had one of these. This little program tends to tell you where your Amiga was crash. What is cryptic? Guru members mean. Right now they're about 128. Can be launched via a shell or workbench and opens therefore either a window or not. So this was, we had a version of this before, wasn't specifically Waiguru, but before the crash came in, and it was quite useful actually. Only starts has been a Guru, toggle display. Okay, I'm going to keep this because I want to see if this works. I'll put it in work. I'll try and get this set up for later. Okay, workbench is probably going to be quite a big file. Wasn't too bad. What are we on? 121. Got 2000. Another countdown to the year 2000 util. But Millennium 3 can be put anywhere on Workbench since you can give it coordinates where it should appear and put it on any screen or just let it print the text to clean instead. Also has a lot of surprise when the year 2000 starts. And 24 hours after 2000 it starts to count down to the third millennium. 2001. Same surprise will pop up when 2001 starts. Watch out for that millennium bug, yeah. See what it does now. Oh, that'll pop up there. 803 days, 22 hours, 36 minutes and 14 seconds. What are you counting down to? Unless it's doing 2030. 3, 6. Nine. Yeah, it's doing 2030. I don't know whether I'll do that or not. Okay. Add data types. New add data types command. It offers more flexibility than the previous version offered by Commodore. It finds the possibility to use subdirectories and dev data types. Finding no more chaos in your data types drawer. Fixes some memory leaks of the old one when replacing data type descriptors. 100% compatible to the original versions 3, 9 and 4. Includes a preferences editor. ClearCon. First aid for ClearCon. Like the Icon X program that came with Workbench, ClearCon is used to launch shell scripts from the Workbench via icons. Nothing new, you might say. Additional to what Icon X does, ClearCon icons may get activated together with additional icons, extended, selected with the Shift key, which names devices and volumes are given as arguments. So applications, creating assigns for programs that really need them and starting them. I hate those tons of assigns in my user startup. Seems like every author thinks this tiny application needs a dozen of them. Create icons for programs that usually can only be launched from Clee, Xopa debugger, like Monam. Come here. Come here. It's fine. It's okay, come here. Come here. Oh, shush. Here we go. I was trying to pick you up, you deaf bugger. And then you're being all kind of, no, don't pick me up. You want to go past Henry, don't you? You want to go past Henry? Or do you want to be in my arms for a bit? Tell you what, I'll let him be in my arms for a little bit. And then I'll get him to go past Henry. Start compilers or assemblers by pressing one on a button, complete with a selection of source code and help text. Anything else? So basically, it's another Icon X. CLVR win. Clever win. Smart win clone, which uses a notify intuition library to patch the open window tagless function of intuition so that all windows will be opened in the fast smart refresh mode. In opposite to smart win, you can select which pub screens and tasks should be ignored. It's useful for shell windows which only feature cut and paste in simple refresh mode. See, this is why I was talking about the screen thing, because this is similar, or it feels similar. Because it talks about screens again. I think this is Workbench terminology that I'm not 100% sure on. Data types, what we got in here. Got anim, which I thought Amiga had anyway. Okay, film. If film movies, animation with sound. You in chat will have to tell me about this because this is weird on me. I know about the anim, and I know about IBLM, but film? It's a new one. BMP DT. Starting with OS release 3, the Amiga has a concept of data types which allow reading and viewing of files of different types and formats. Multiview is an application that utilizes the data types and handles any file for which you have a data type class installed. This data type has been created to supersede the BMP data type version 39.4 from the 3.1 NDK or PICT DT421. That data type was limited to 16256 color pictures, handled only Windows type BMPs, but didn't check for this. excuse me, and had another quite serious bugs. Okay. Deep Z Paint format, specifically some package for the Amiga, I'm assuming. MPEG. MPEG video stream animations. And picture DT. DTB data type. Oh, you're going to sleep now. Good. Stop you being a scaredy cat. Something about 24-bit images. Or is this a group of it because it says picture? Not entirely sure. Okay. Depth tool changer. Default tool changer is a simple, fast program to change the default tools from all icons in a directory. It's helpful for CD productions or to change the default tools on your hard disk. Example, you've got 100 pictures with 100 icons and made default tools in some directories or subdirectories like C these you need for your CD production. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Unless it means the default tool isn't what you get to open it by, perhaps. Docket 37. Easy access to all of your programs with one click of the mouse. No need to search your endless drawers. Docket presents an easy to use interface with its simple click and go operation. This version is an interim fix for the screen font window sizing. There's a command which is not in my Blitz manual to find the size of the web WP screen font. If you know it and would care to email me the information, I'd be most appreciative. It's basically like a quick launcher or something like this, basically. Get icon for MUI by the looks of things. Yep. Excuse me, public icon custom class. More tools. Adds items to the tools menu. Oh, am I sorry? Am I not fuzzing you enough? It's just basically like doing this around my neck, like, come on, Dad. Such a soppy bugger. More tools is a simple utility to add items to Workbench tools menu to run programs or execute commands. You can also pass them a parameter by selecting some icons before. I thought it would be up here, but I don't think so. Be careful with your claws, mister. Just because I'm not fussing you all the time. Prozoomy. Movie preference file. Don't know what it actually is. Sorry for the flicking. No, don't get that one. Sit. System information program. Tells you the memory, hardware, careful, what libraries I've got, devices, ports, what assigns I've got currently. Okay. System speed. I think we've seen this before. I need to get the other one as well, the one that most people use. Suppose you can just compare it to other people. Someone like is it sysinfo, where it gives you like a little graph. This kind of doesn't do that. This is something in the relative too. Which I can't do anything anyway because the mouse is not moving. Yeah, so you'd have to set that up yourself. Okay, there you go, system speed. TT Manager. My attempt at blowing the tool type manipulation features of the standard workbench icon information requester out of the water. It's a powerful yet easy to use tool type editor with many features such as font sensitive recyclable size guide compliant GUI, app icon and app windows, adds itself to workbench tools. It's a commodity. Oh, I'm sneezing. So that's that. Twilight. Nothing to do with the book, obviously. Introduction. Hello there users, let me be your guide into the marvelous world of Twilight. It's starting to sound like the book. But before, what is Twilight? Good question, I answer. Twilight is not one program but a pack which contains many programs and is the same as the enhancement of your workbench by adding a few new functions as pop-up menus, shortcuts, hour in the toolbar, but also better good looking aspect enabling you to have a palette backdrop in 64 colours without altering new pretty icons in 192 colours. You could also test Twilight before installing it, just executing each utils in it so you can make up your mind without engaging yourself. Don't worry, there's no assign to do and changes are not fixed until you install it. Enabling, yeah. Just the problem is it's cut off, so I'm kind of trying to work out what it is. There's nothing. No, somebody didn't check this before they put it in, but whatever. Pretty low system specs. O2 with at least 2 meg of RAM, which is standard. Recommend 030 and 4 meg. It's comfortable with 030 and 4 meg and luxurious on an 060. Alright, what does it do? Colour fix? Careful. Syspic. Oh yeah, I need to fix that. So it's like a boot pick. Yeah. I could try it, but I don't know. I need to get that fixed anyway at some point. And then YAC. Yet another clock. I've always a clock programmed exactly the way I wanted it. Although YAC or YAC1 hasn't got all the features that I want, it still looks like an ordinary clock. It will change, but the first stage is to make the clock. Run it from Clay. Right, so it's that there. You can open multiple instances of it. That's it. Okay, that's that done then, surprisingly. So, moving on, 141. So I will leave it till next week where we'll look at the reader stuff. I'll see what's in there. It's always good for the gallery. Then we're not quite done with this CD yet because there is still this one here, the top 100 shareware to go through. And then once we've done that, then we can move on to the next CD. So what are we on? Ad start in 19 minutes. Okay, let me... check that. Reboot. Let me get rid of this one. And then we can do some demo scene. Come on, you. Finally get past Henry. Okay, back again. Question is, do I remember where we were last time? Probably not, knowing me. Oh wait a minute, what's this? Oh, we got more demos. I don't know if it's separate. We'll have to have a look at that later. We're on scenario, I think. What did we go through that? I think I recognised Mr. Wacko, and I think I recognised it didn't work. So let's try Pro F3C. I didn't like that. That would have been an opportunity to actually use the guru thing. Fact. Not specified, okay. We'll have to see if we can get it working. That's interesting. Because I think I can get it showing, I think it looked like I could get it showing after an actual issue. I think we're seeing this one. But I'll let it run anyway. Okay, that was another one of those menu-based ones, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. Do you like the menu ones? They are kind of interesting, but I think it's not something I can throw on and be passive. I've got to be active, and there was a lot of stuff in there, so and especially when it was talking about how to code certain things, which I had a quick look at. It was just like, oh, just use bullet planes and stuff, which is a nice idea. Nice little demo, so yeah, that's true. Let's see if abstract works. Seem to be a lot of these mini ones in the parties. Try this one, I've got a feeling it's probably going to be the same. Yep, think it was that for that one tit. I will agree with Critical Interrupted. That was quite a nice one. But as the ads keep interrupting or trying to interrupt, I did snooze it for a bit so we could finish off that demo. What I'll do is we'll go for another break, and then after that I think we'll have a look at on SIH 95. Quite sure whereabouts that is. But either way, we will look at South Sealand 2 next. At least start to have a look at that. So I'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Congratulations, Manic_Winer. You have picked out Batman.
Hello everyone, coming in from Nat Graham's stream. Thank you very much for the raid. You did catch me on a Be Right Back, and yes, as someone pointed out already, I think it was it Mitch perhaps? No, Actress Deluxe. It was the UT demo which came in from Anders and Ters. It was the UT demo from PC Gamer that I've managed to do. In fact, actually, that's one of the most favourite demos I've got on that, because it's, I've got loads of game demos that cycle through. And wasn't a big UT player, but the whole sound and music from that particular music does kind of bring me back to late 90s era kind of gaming, weirdly. Even though I didn't do a massive amount of it, but I did like that. I do actually have UT, I think, redone, but I'm sure I've shown this before. So I do have this. This is the anthology version of Unreal, and it includes Unreal Gold, Unreal 2, and I think it's got Unreal 2004 and UT Game of the Year edition, so that's what that's on there. That's that. Thank you also, Manic Miner, for the lucky dip, but apparently you wanted Doman instead. I will have to see if there's a cover for Doman. If there is, I can add it on. But whether you actually get it as a lucky dip, I don't know. Wake up now, Crucia viewers. I apologise. I'm kind of, was doing I was trying to finish off that, the advert. TTS redeem. Oh, if you remember, I had to turn that off because we had issues with the TTS, and I don't think I tested it back again, so I need to figure it out. UT demo is cool. I had some of the most memorable maps. Yep. Phobos and Morpheus. You've got the Ultimate Unreal pack still have disc, but the boxes are long gone. Yeah, Unreal 2 was just not that good. I remember one particular bit in Unreal 2 where it was basically a map that was not very big. Just imagine if maps are like usually this big, massively. This was like this big in comparison. And it was just a case of you go through a door and then there's this turret that gets aimed at you. Now, you can't do anything to the turret, but they're trying to make some sort of tension. Like, oh my god, there's a turret, it's going to shoot you. And then it doesn't. And then they fix it. And then you go through another door, and then it loads the next level. And I'm like, that was the worst fucking level I'd played. You're just like, why? And I think the rest of it, I just wasn't that bothered about the whole setting, which is kind of weird. Maybe the sequel was just or maybe I played the sequel too long after the original, but it didn't feel the same as the first one. I was just a bit like, I'm not so bothered about this sort of thing. Right, I will get Doughman on the Lucky Dip for you. Got 99,000 points saving up for the... I'm not sure how big the number is, but it's a massive number. It'll take a while, certainly. Be interesting when that finally happens. Good bits in YouTube, but the game as a whole wasn't great. Yep. Don't remember that, but it sounds about right. Yeah, I do remember that section because it was one of those ones where I was just like, what the hell? Why have they included this? It doesn't give me any tension whatsoever. I get they tried, but it just wasn't... Anyway, Graham, what were you doing? The Amiga Gears Part 44, 1994 games on real A600 hardware. Did you find anything useful on? Or anything interesting? Those were the same ones that did not return to Nap Alley with the mission pack. And the thing is that mission pack wasn't actually that bad. It was pretty okay. The only addition to that, if I remember rightly, was the voiceover, which you didn't get anything like that in the first game. So it was almost like was it a director's cut of Blade Runner where you suddenly just got this voiceover that didn't actually appear in the original film. Sorry, not the same to make the main game. But even the main game wasn't great either. It looked good, but too big and empty. Yeah, the main game was known for its massive maps. Stupidly huge maps, but I enjoyed that aspect of it. It did make it kind of a lot different. It was actually 1200 I like. We finished for the good old Rise of the Robots. When you say finish off, did you actually complete it all the way through? Because on the Mega Drive version, I could get up to the Crusher, which is the green one, and the Crusher would just cream me. I couldn't do anything past that one. I think there were odd occasion where I could get about on the green robot, but then it just take you out completely. Legend Entertainment. RTMP was there's a lot of stuff in Unreal Beta versions. Oh, okay. The voiceover was weird though. You're a hardened space prisoner, but you sound like a nerdy computer program. Always preferred UT games over Unreal. I don't know, I prefer the other way around. I suppose I just wasn't that much of a arena shooter player. I mean, yeah, UT was a lot of fun. And in fact, actually, if you've ever read Masters of Doom, I'm going to point up there. Let me go grab it, in case anybody's never heard of it. So yeah, Masters of Doom here, which is the story of John Romero and John Carmack from childhood to post-id days, because it talks about when Romero went over to Iron Storm, and it talks a little bit after Iron Storm, but not a massive amount. But there was a section here that basically said when it was developing Quake 3, and at this point Romero was already at Iron Storm, and I think he was doing Daikatana at the time. There was something about UT coming out, and I think UT came out before Quake 3, and there was some question about whether the people at UT had heard about whether what was going, direction of the arena shooter for Quake, so they weren't sure if there was some sort of dodgy idea stealing or something like that. I think that was what was going on. Never heard of them or Ironstall. UT99 in 2004 were good too. 2003 felt like a beta rather than a full game, and UT3 was kind of fun and single player. Felt like it was an Unreal game rather than UT. Yeah, it's the Unreal 2004 on that anthology. I just did not like it all. It didn't feel very good. It was just a bit. So yeah. But anyway, let's do a couple of demos if we can get them running, and then we're going to go over to Colorado, which is the long stream game I've been playing. If you've seen last week's VOD, or if you've not seen last week's VOD, I had been struggling with Colorado because it was a bit difficult. And then I managed to find an interesting strat or way to get rid of some of the Braves, Indians, whatever you'd like to call them. Those ones that come at you with an axe or a mallet or the spear. So there's two attacks you can do. You can do like a high attack and then a low attack. So with the axe, I managed to do low attacks, and that seems to work really well for the axe, mallet, spear. What was the other one I said? Axe, mallet, spear, and something else. But it seems to work for those quite well, which is good. I've now got to go to another part of the island, which is the canoe part. The problem with the canoe part is it's very difficult to find the landing strips. I suspect UT and Q3 were probably coincidence. With the way Internet Mail Player was kicking off, it made sense to do something. Yeah, fair enough. Championship's a bit weird. Hello there, Amiga Cami. Let's see if we can get this working. Okay, I was trying that mod again because I wasn't quite demo again because I wasn't quite sure whether it was just me or not. It must have been a really short demo, which is a bit sort of okay. The demo itself was fine. It was just I wasn't expecting it to be that, unless there's something it doesn't like properly, which is fair enough. Right, I'll try one more demo, and if not, we'll just do some Colorado. Fine. Demo started looking good as well. I know some crash because I'm doing it through Workbench, I get that. But some work and that's fine, and I'm just trying to keep it on CD, that's all. Corrupt member list detected in Freeman. Okay. Well, that's why that crashed then. Oh, this is going to take ages. I've forgotten about this. So for some reason, it's loading about 18,000 titles. I need to figure out how in iGame I need to reset everything. So I don't know if I need to reinstall iGame or if there's any way that I can kind of remove entries. But there's no, the problem with iGame, there's no kind of remove it scan and then it's add game manually, but there's no that I can see that I can just bin something. Because that's why this is stuck up there, because it's trying to load the whole thing. I keep forgetting that's the issue. There should only be about 6,000 maybe, or 600 games in there. Just one of the two. this way. Quicker. There you go, look. That's the issue. I think this was in 1990. Right, so the slight difference, I have managed to pick up a lot more items than last time because I realised, like I said, how I do stuff. So when I hit F2 to get the axe, that's the high, but the low one is this one here, which is a lot faster than this. I need to remember... Oh, I remember now. Hang on a minute. It's 3. Come on. Oh, come on. This is one thing I hate. The whole being shot at until... hang on a minute. We're going to die for this now. F6 to take that. Yeah, it's the annoying thing is when you get attacked, it's when you constantly drop whatever you're carrying, like knife or axe or whatever it is. And then when you bend down to pick it up, you get hit again, so then you kind of fall over and drop it, and you just get through this stupid cycle. And remember last time I thought I couldn't pick the peace pipe up. Oh, Oh, hang on a minute. No, F5. Thank you. I've got space now. And I can do it. Because you had to go up here before you could actually pick it up. And the other problem is if you leave the brave or Indian with the spear and you just go past him and go that way, he will follow you into the next screen, which means if you need to come back, you can't actually do it anymore. So you have to kill them. Got to be quick here too because I have been shot at with the arrow, which made me lose the knife. And if you lose the knife here, it disappears. You can't find it underneath. Oops. I might die here. Yeah. That's because I messed up before. Right, so it's this first. Oh, I need to... Oh! Managed to do a good run and then mess up. This may take a few attempts. Good thing is, at least some of the items are still around. What's this one? You can shoot at them, but some take more hits than others. And this is the bow and arrow ones. Right, F7, drop the peace pipe. Oh, no, that's not it. F7, this one. And he gives me whatever this is, which I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming it's a bullet, but I don't know what for. I think now I've got to go back to the start, because I don't think there's anything else I can do. That's all I can exchange. Problem is I can't save. It's auto save at certain points, which unfortunately means repeating some areas if I mess it up. But at least the health is mostly okay at the moment. Right, the river section. Gotta be careful because if I go too far I get hit with the waterfall, and it's, you know, it's game over pretty much. Where's this landing? I do not see one yet. I've got to be really careful because I think you can easily miss them. Ah. 17% intense. This ain't rash, it's Rashier. I can never remember though how long it is before the land comes in, and I've got to do all this again now. Trying to get as minimal hits as I can. And it's minimal hits on me. These guys usually take 10 hits, I believe. Don't think that's going to be good enough. Oh, forgot about that. I think it's timing on this sometimes. Trying to get a leg hit first, which should reduce them hitting you. I think it's time for our head to bed. Okay, thank you for popping in, Antaeus. F5 this time. Oh. Yep, it's gonna take a while. I think this is RNG as to whether you get hit all the time. But the leg strike is the beneficial one. Right, let's not drop off the side this time. Switch to the knife. I don't know if I need to do that, I'm just doing that anyway. Also noticed another thing as well. These rock catapulters didn't seem to want to hit me on that second one when I was really close to the edge, which is useful to know. Oh, look at me, I'm under halfway of health now. That's starting in 250. So what I can do is I'll trade with this guy. We're going to walk up to the boat and then we're going to push an ad brake, sorry. Right, okay. So I'll see you in about 3 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Right, so it's that boat journey again. Just need to try and remember. I also need to know where I am actually. Am I coming in from the mountain? Yes, I'm coming in from the mountains. Okay, I see now. So I should be okay for a bit. Oh, there's the land coming up. There we go. Can I get off? I'll have to find out. Need to come get the manual. This should be land. Firing button in the upper position. There we go. It was fire and then push up. Oh, Jesus. There's a bear. I think we got to this last time. The bear was difficult to kill. Maybe F6? No? F4? Bear's like pissed off. Wow, that took a lot of shots. Yay! Another save. Even though I'm low on health. Alright, let's go for it. I don't think we'll get anything better than that. I just hope it's not going to cause me an issue. Is that it? I don't see anywhere else to go. That tree looks that tree looks specific, but I don't know why. Is that it? Remember rightly, I should be able to go to the left here. Right, so next village on. So I kill a bear for what reason? I don't know. So I must be missing something here. I can't figure out what it is. I have tried to use the bombs, but the bomb is it just removes whatever's in the hand. So I don't know what that means. Unless it's specifically for putting somewhere. I don't know what the rapid represents. I don't know if I can kill it. It seems to run away when I come near it, so I don't know about that. I'm almost dead now. Ah, landing. Oh, I almost had a landing. Right, okay. Okay. I just gotta be very good with my attacks. Pretty sure the bear didn't leave anything for me to pick up. It was stood. Must have been here? No? Unless I was supposed to coax the bear to put his hand in the hole. I don't know how I would have been able to do that. F6 is doing nothing. And you can miss the boat, great. I just hope I've not soft locked myself. That would be frustrating. So if you look at the bottom right, that's the map. and the square indicates which side of the river you're supposed to be on to disembark. If you're on the top end of the river, it's the left-hand side. Not gonna survive this. No. I'll do a couple more attempts and I'm going to call it a stream, I think. So I can press up to go faster. No. Ah. No. Always just before I get to where I need to be. Right, okay, I'm gonna call it a stream, I think. I need to sort this out. 18,303 games, this is ridiculous. And most of it is this. Right, okay, I will figure it out. So, thank you everyone for popping in, and thank you to Nagram for the raid. Also, thank you to Amiga, the Manic Whiner for the Amiga Lucky Dip. We'll be doing this next week, obviously, and I will be back. Whilst I remind myself, I will be back tomorrow with more Exhumed. So if you've missed out the past few streams or a couple of streams, been doing Exhumed on the Sega Saturn. That's been quite a fun one. Last week I think we defeated one of the bosses. At least we did that. And then, was there anything special? No, I just remember defeating one of the bosses and it was quite easy, weirdly. Then Friday we're carrying on with Age of Empires, the expansion, The Conquerors. Age of Empires 2 specifically, I do apologise. Sunday is the new game of Miner 2049. Well, I'll say it's a sequel to Miner 2049. It's Bounty Bob Strikes Back, because we completed Miner 2049 2 weeks ago. Yesterday we did Real Hardware. Next week we're going to do, or next Sunday we're going to do Spectrum Next. And we're going to alternate between Real Hardware and Spectrum Next and see how that works. Because at least then the Spectrum Next gets to get brought out every so often. And it also means that I can run the load screen that I wanted to do last week, but for some reason the tape player just wasn't playing ball. Like I said, I think because it used to be up there, the cat's knocked it off, and I think it's kind of caused a bit of an issue. So, I mean, it plays, but it's the whole, you've got to get the right volume for the Spectrum to pick it up. So, it might be something to do with that, I don't know. Or maybe I need to fiddle around with it a bit more to get the right load, but I couldn't get it yesterday, so yeah. And then back again for Amiga Monday. It just feels so short, but I think last week was very quick than usual. A quick week than usual. So yeah, Amiga Monday next week as usual. Tomorrow is Exhumed or Power Slave, depending on which region you're in. Friday, Age of Empires 2, The Conquerors, and then Bounty Bob Strikes Back on a Spectrum for Sunday. Let's see if we've got for you to go off to. Who do we raid? Let's go raid the Plunger, the Plunge Man, past the Plunger, who's doing Spyro 2 on the PS1. Real Hardware as usual. Not that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying. So let's get the raid done. Right, all that remains for me to do is say again thank you very much, and I will see you all later. Bye.